Weather and climate conditions are major factors for the well-being and development of society, with impacts on all scales from individual lives to global economies. The enormous forces of weather can also turn against us, causing floods and droughts, heat waves and hurricanes. If we're not prepared for these extreme events, then they can cause great losses for our economies and even loss of human lives. Over time, humans have tried to understand the weather to use it to their advantage, such as making use of favourable winds for setting sail and periods of fine weather for planting and harvesting crops. Knowing what the weather will be contributes to our economic growth and the maintenance of our modern lifestyles. The availability of reliable weather forecasts is of vital importance in structuring our everyday lives. In the past, people have tried to forecast the weather by observing the natural things around them. However, real progress was only made in the 20th century with the advent of programmable electronic computers. This led the way to numerical weather prediction. In the late 1960s, a number of European scientists had the vision that forecasting the weather up to 10 days ahead would be possible. Such medium-range weather forecasts would be of enormous benefit for the protection, safety and economic development of society. As a result, European governments agreed to combine their individual resources and establish an international organization with the goal of developing, improving and operationally producing medium-range weather forecasts. The European Centre for Medium-Range Weather Forecasts, ECMWF, was born.
ECMWF was formed by a convention ratified by 18 member states in 1975. The principal objectives of ECMWF are to provide medium-range weather forecasts to its member states and to all European citizens, in order to issue early warnings for severe weather conditions. ECMWF is effectively a world leader in its field of activity.
Europeu de Previsão a médio prazo é efetivamente líder neste momento a nível mundial no seu campo de atividade.
Today, more than 30 states support ECMWF. The objective of ECMWF is to provide the best global numerical weather predictions to its users and member states. How are these forecasts produced? What do we need to predict the weather?
Well, a numerical weather forecast is a weather forecast made using a computer. You use the basic laws of physics and mathematical techniques, you program that up in a computer, and then you calculate the weather.
Three major components are needed for the numerical weather prediction process. First, a set of observations describing the current atmospheric conditions. These observations are collected, for example, directly from weather stations and weather balloons, as well as remotely from satellites. Second, a mathematical model which divides the atmosphere into a grid of small boxes and calculates how the temperature, pressure, humidity and wind change over time. Finally, a